right from where it picks you up to where you're going. This is personal rapid transit, and there's two systems in place right now. But this is the concept. You go to the bus stop. You and your 4 friends get on one of these cars, and you tell it, I want to go across town to bus stop number 15. And it doesn't stop to pick anybody else up. It pops on this rail at a distance that's computerly managed. And so this rail doesn't have to be strong enough to hold a whole train. It just has to be able to hold a car, one car every so many feet. And it goes straight from the space where you're picked up to where you want to go without stopping anywhere in between. Other ways of doing this that are becoming available right now, where you can share transportation assets. There's websites where you can do carpooling and ride sharing, and the next level of that is called ride tracking. The university right now has their bus system set up so you can, on your cell phone, see how many minutes away from the bus stop your bus is. So you can pull it up on a computer. You can on your cell phone see how far away the bus is. This system tracks all the friends on your cell phone and tells you how far away your friends are, so that you can call and ask for a ride. This ride tracking system is just in an incredible way in the future of being able to share rides, because you'll always be able to tell how far away somebody is, how long the wait is. The community car system, what they do is they stash a bunch of cars around your neighborhood, and you go up to them and swipe a car, or you go online and say, I need the car for this amount of time, and then you go and use it and put it back in the parking space, and then the next person uses it. They've found that one community car can offset 7 cars in a community. And so it's an interesting way to save. And when you look at the numbers, this is getting like a cell phone. I mean, you can get a prepaid plan, you can do monthly, you can do pay as you drive, and you can have special rates for long distance. But if you look at 70 cents per mile for owning a car in town with parking and everything, it's about $8,000 a year. And for signing up for community car, sharing a car and doing the same amount of travel, it's about $1,000. So even though one car offsets 7 in cost, it's offsetting 8. And it would, I mean, like you get a cell phone plan, every so many years they send you a new cell phone, and you just pay a regular fee. They take the cell phone back, recycle it. This would be a way to get your transportation needs met by sharing the assets with a bunch of different people. And they have different kind of cars. So if you need a pickup truck, the collective might have one pickup truck, so you can check that out if you need it. And the rest of the time, use a car that's appropriate for what you need to do. Electric cars are another way to get around. There are new ones coming online. None that I know of that you can buy in Iowa, even though there's one manufacturer who's trying to make them here. Used old ones or converted ones are available. They're great for around town travel. The community cars, which can't go on roads over 35 miles an hour, so those are just around town type vehicles. If you get a crash-tested internal combustion engine car and put batteries in it, you can get those relatively inexpensive. Like I got that jet electric car for $3,500 and put in a couple of sets of batteries. It was equivalent to paying about 96 cents per gallon at the electrical charge that I was using. It would go up to 70 miles an hour. Took it a while to get there. Like a Porsche electric car kit is around 12,000, and then you can get them custom built. I know, like Kelly's here, and he had one put together. I think it costs a little bit more than 12 to get the kit done. New electric cars, you can get a Tesla for 109,000. The Zen cars are available for around 16,000, and then the Aptera, just forget that's there. You can't even reserve them right now. The Nissan Leaf is supposed to be available in the Midwest sometime next year. We'll see. The cost for those is $32,000, which is, not not $109,000, but it's still fairly expensive. You said you knew some about how much the latest Tesla.
Tesla is going to have the Model S, which is going to be a 5-passenger vehicle. After the $7,500 rebate, the 160-mile range version is going to be $49,500. Add 10,000 to that, and that's the 230-mile range, and add another 10,000 onto that, and that's the 300-mile range option.
So that's lithium-ion batteries, but you're still talking a lot of money. So as we move to electric vehicles, this idea of sharing transportation, where you can split those costs over several people, may be a way that works out, where instead of having to buy a car, you'd buy a car plan, like a cell phone. And that would be one way we could afford to switch. The Chevy Volt is a range-extended electric car. So this is an electric car that's got a generator in it, and these are currently being produced, but it's limited market. You can't get them in Iowa at this time. And I believe they have like a 30-mile range before they have to turn on the generator. The last information I saw was that almost nobody does. They go thousands of miles without a tank of gas in practical driving, where people who own these drive them around town and don't drive them long haul that often. And when they do, it's averaged out over the years. So you're making very few trips to the gas station and just plugging in overnight. Another 2012, hopefully, fingers crossed, we'll be able to get the plug-in Prius, which is a little bit different from the Volt. It's not the generator on it. The wheels are driven either by the motor or by the internal combustion engine. Okay, so this is my caveat on the gasoline versus electric charge with from electricity, when most of the electricity comes from, at least in Iowa, about 80% is still from coal. Because electric cars are so efficient, it is still a savings. Studies that they've done say it's about 19% of 90% savings, even from coal, over if you use an electric car that displaces a gasoline car. And let's see, in the fuel books in California, where they've got a lot more renewable energy and nuclear, it can reduce greenhouse gas emissions by up to 74%. The caveat on that is, for the Midwest, that's greenhouse gases that are getting reduced. When it comes to sulfur dioxide, or the acid rain pollution and smog pollution, it's not an actual reduction, and it increases to by switching to pure electric.
Eric, with electric cars and plug-in hybrids, are you going to be able to kind of order the electricity that you want? You know, so much solar, so much wind, so much hydro, so much coal to burn in your car?
To some extent, you can right now. I mean, with Lynn County REC, the way they do their green credit program is you have to buy so many blocks of kilowatt hours. So what I would do, and I would use about 400 kilowatt hours, but I would buy 5 blocks, which is just the extra 2 cents they pay for buying electrons from the wind farms instead of from their normal producers. That program has a cap on it, so they're not going to shut down the production facilities that they own and fire their people and buy all from the wind farms. They cap the amount that they will sell.
But the electric cars will come online very slowly, so they have plenty of time to begin to integrate these renewables into their...
And they fit nicely together. I'm going to go over that too. Let's see. So, how much time do I got? For efficient vehicles, a lot of times it's asked, what's the best you can do? And these are often the 2 choices: the green diesel versus the Prius. And if you're using the CO2 metric, it really depends on which fuel you put in it. At about, let's see, so the diesel Jetta on 100% biodiesel, and especially on 100% recycled biodiesel, is going to be the lowest carbon per mile that you can drive. If you're over 40% petroleum diesel, then you're about even with a Prius on gasoline. And if you're higher than that, like during the 2 months during the winter where you're burning winterized diesel, you're about 50% higher than what a Prius puts out. One of the ways to get renewable fuels is to get your fuel locally. So a couple friends got together and we started the Yoderville Biodiesel Club, and we have been for the last, since 2005, brewing our own biodiesel out of waste vegetable oil. And that is how I get around for long haul. And using biofuels because of they call it the fuel or food conundrum. It's not a completely straightforward equation on what's the best level of sustainability. But it's pretty easy to break down on when you have a choice. So if you have a choice between gasoline and dirty diesel, gas is the better choice. If you've got a vehicle choice, if you're renting, for example. If you've got a choice between gas and E10, 10% ethanol, especially in the Midwest where it's a local product, it's better to do the ethanol mix. If you got a choice between E10 and E85, again, we're in the Midwest. This is where it's coming, and the carbon's being taken out of the air, put into the plant, and then put back into the air in a cycle. When you're burning ancient plant matter, you're taking carbon that's sequestered out of the ground and putting it into the air. If you've got a choice between corn-based, sugar-based, or cellulose-based ethanol, which is ethanol that's made out of the parts of the plant that aren't food, the waste material, then it's definitely better to go with cellulose or sugar-based ethanol. And that we've got one plant in Iowa that's starting to produce that. And in general, the biofuels are getting more and more efficient and more environmentally friendly. The petroleum products are getting less and less. So we're burning more and more tar sand gasoline, about 5% right now, is